I got interviewed one time and told a girl that the farmer was like being in love with a bad woman. I said, you know you need to leave, but you just can't. Well, my girlfriend at that time, she just threw a fit. She didn't like it at all. So.
It's a 25-hour day and 8 days a week about it is what I tell everybody. It's a lot to overtake. Sometimes it's a little overwhelming. I typically try to take in the last 2 years, I've took a week off, but 2 years prior to that, I hadn't had vacation since, I think, 2001. So I've not been off the farm since 2001. As far as a traditional vacation, and me or Dad, either one, it's hard to leave. I don't know any dairy farmer that you would talk to said they're in it for the profit. There's good times with the dairy. I mean, there have been good times that we've made some money with the dairy, but a dairy farmer would typically put it right back into the dairy. You know, what money he makes, he won't go out and buy, a toy. He usually, any income goes right back into the farm. People don't even have a clue when they drive by here what goes on in the course of a day. But there's always something to do. It's hard to maintain a normal life, when you've got a dairy. I never went to a football game. I've never been to a high school football game. And on Saturday night, I never went anywhere. And usually if my buddies wanted to see me, they would come over and they would be, 20 people out here in front of the dairy, which wasn't good for the cows or my job at that time. My old man drove down one night and seen what kind of party we had going on while I was trying to milk. And it was a mess. My old man for years, when I was younger, he said, You've got to love it if you're going to do it, and I understand. There's so many aspects of it. It's not just being a dairyman and fooling with these cows all day. We've got the equipment side, and you got the row crops, so you're out in the field, and you're your own boss. Besides my old man, which is, he's my boss, but I don't look at it that way. But it's just sort of been, I guess you'd say, free. It's not a 9-to-5 job, and it's not a factory. There's so many different variables here that go on through the course of a day. Everybody asks me, what do you do? What's your typical day? And I said, I can't really tell you what my typical day is, but it's different every day. And I guess that's what I like about it, is it's not the same grind. These are children. Dairy cows is more or less kids. And I've been accused of treating them better than most humans as much time as we spend with them. So. My dad, most of the times that I ever remember him putting a cow down, there'd be a tear come out of his eye. He always took it really hard. I don't know if he gets attached or if it's just shooting an animal. I had one when I was younger, 196 was her number, and I was pretty attached to her because when we come down and feed in the morning, I would always come out at the feedway and find 196 and crawl up on her back. And I actually sleep on her back until Dad would get done feeding. And a lot of times he would come down and have to get me off that cow. And so I was pretty attached to her. And we come up late one night and had to call a vet for her. And I laid down with her, and she had laid her head across my lap. And I dozed off, and it was late at night. And when I woke up, she was dead. That sort of killed me.
It's not as easy as it looks, but it's probably the most rewarding thing a person can do. Because when you're on the upside, it's like gambling. You're having a real good day. When it's on the downside, well, you just grit your teeth and go through it. But when everything does line up, it's a great place to be. Good place to raise a family, if you can keep a wife.